Okay. All right, so it's Erev Shabbos, parshas Va'era, and we're going to look in. We're gonna study a beautiful Kedushas Levi, of Levi Yitzchak ben Sarah Sasha's Chus Shagin Elena. So first, let us understand Avram Avinu a little bit. Let's understand Avram Avinu, and I want to tell you a little story first to understand Avram Avinu. There's in a town. There's a very, very big Baal Chesed. There's a very, very big Baal Chesed. This guy is amazing. And any time in the town, anyone needs anything, whether they need help in their house, whether they need help with money, they need help with finding a job, whatever they need, they come to this person. This person helps them with anything they need.
Where is this?
Whatever they need, this person helps them with. It doesn't matter what they need, he helps them. Yeah. They need money, they need food, they need advice, whatever it is, he's there to help them. So then one day the people in town see that he has his boys. He takes one of his boys and he throws him out of the house. And they're amazed. Wow. He's the nicest guy in the world, but okay, must not have worked out too good with his son.
Yeah.
Must not have worked out too good. And so he threw him out. But then they see a short while after, he takes his son in the street and he's about to slit his throat. He's about to kill his son. And they go, wow, the guy went crazy. This guy went crazy. This guy, he helped me. He paid my mortgage, and this guy did this, and now he's going to kill his son. What's going on here? Can I ask you a question? Isn't this similar to what happened with Avram Avinu?
Right.
Wasn't Avram Avinu the Ish HaChesed that went to help every single person out whatever they needed?
Yeah.
And then Sari Meinu tells Avram Avinu, you have to send out Yishmael. So he takes his son and he sends him out.
Yeah.
So then you'll ask me, well, okay, so what? That was Yishmael.
Yeah.
But wait a second. When it came to the Akedah, HaKadosh Baruch Hu says to Avram Avinu, what does he say? He says, B'ni. Right? He says to take your son. Take your son. Bincha. No, first Bincha. So Avram Avinu says, Bincha. I have two children. Which one? Is it Yishmael or is it Yitzchak Avinu? As Yechidcha. Well, they're both specific children. I mean, one is to Hagar and one is Sari Meinu. Asher Ahavta Hashem, I love them both. I love Yishmael. I love Yitzchak Avinu. As Yitzchak. Take Yitzchak. Take Yitzchak. So you see from that, and the Medrash, the Maimon Chazal, that what? That Avram Avinu loved Yishmael.
Yeah.
He was very dear to him, but yet he still sent him away.
Yeah.
And then he takes Yitzchak Avinu and brings him up to be the carbon on Harmi. It's unbelievable, right? All right, so let's see. Yes.
Why Abraham didn't say no? Abraham had to say no.
No to what?
I'm not going to sacrifice them, because you told me that Yivane Mimeni.
Yes.
And now you say did korban.
Yes.
No, I don't.
So you're saying there was a stira, right? There was a stira.
I don't want it.
Oh, so this was one of the tests. Avram Avinu was tested by Hashem. How much does Hashem? Wait a minute. Wait. Hold, Dr. Semai, 1 minute. How much does HaKadosh Baruch Hu? How much love does Avram Avinu have for HaKadosh Baruch Hu? Many. Okay, so now Hashem tells him something to go against his whole belief, his whole life. Wait a second. Hold on.
Why Hashem wanted to test him? He said, he knows that.
Dr. Sva, I'm going to answer you. Allow me to answer you. Allow me to answer you.
Terach Petzel, הוא הרג את הפסל, הוא אמר, יש השם מספיק. כמו שאתה אומר, אתה אוהב אותי, אני תודה רבה. אני לא צריך עוד משהו אחר להגיד.
You're saying very good. Dr. Smay is saying good. But again, we never ask why Hashem does something. That's what we just learned a few minutes ago. Hashem asks because Hashem has a big cheshbon. He has a cheshbon. We don't have to understand Hashem's cheshbon. It's not that for me to understand.
When we have a test, when we pass a test, it makes us stronger.
Of course.
Maybe he needed to feel stronger going out into all these.
Okay, but wait. But I'm going to make your question. I'll make your question stronger, Dr. Salai. In the world at that time, paganism was a very big thing, right? They were serving. They were taking children and slaughtering them to idols. Avraham Avinu, his entire life, is yelling at the people, "You can't do that. These are idols. Why are you slaughtering your children to them? What are you doing?" His whole life. Now he's an old man. And what does Hashem tell him to do? Now you go do this thing that you told all these people not to do. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Your whole life you're telling people don't slaughter your children. And now Hashem tells him, now I want you to go slaughter your child. But 1 second. Doesn't it say, Dr. Smai, Vayashkem Avram Babayker? What does it mean, Vayashkem? He got up. He got up. He got up. He got up in the morning. What does that mean, he got up in the morning? That means he was sleeping. He was sleeping. Avraham Avinu's emunah was so strong. The night before, he actually was able to go to sleep.
Yeah.
He was able to go to sleep and have a night's sleep. Vayash came Avram Babayker.
Yeah.
He got up. It wasn't that he was up in the morning. No, he got up in the morning. He got up in the morning. That means he was okay with it. He was perfectly okay with it. But let's learn a little bit. You'll understand soon, Doctor. Right? Keep the question now. Now we're going to learn here from the Holy Kedushas Levi Nevar Mad the Isa b'Medrash in Bereshis Rabbah Memtes on Dalit. The Avram Avinu Olav Hashalom la'achar she'ochlu Omar Berchu Lelekei Oilam. The Medrash says that Avraham Avinu would do this. He would have his restaurant, his bread and breakfast, or whatever he had there, right? And he would have people. He would serve people food.
Yeah.
When he served the people the food, he gave them a beautiful meal. Always a beautiful meal. When he finished the meal,
No. Malachim lo ochrim.
No,
not those
not the
people.
Malachim. No, not the Malachim. The other people, all the other people.
Okay. Okay.
All the years, he was always had the tent open. He would give people all the time something to eat, and he would have them make a bracha achrona. He would tell them to bench. You have to make birkat hamazon, birkat hamazon. Make a ala michya, whatever. But so the question, okay, now oh, wait a second. Says the Kedushas Levi, he's asking a question. So the Medrash says that Avraham Avinu would tell them to bench after they ate.
Yeah.
So if he was already teaching them to make brachas, why didn't he have them make the bracha to be before they ate? Make a hamaitzi, make a shahakal. So make a, let's say they drank a glass of water, and they made a bari nefashos. It's not in the Torah either.
No, okay. Yeah.
Right? But no, so the question is why didn't he not teach them further to make the brachas before they eat and to make a bracha after they eat?
Yeah.
It's a good question, right?
Yeah.
So it says the Kedushas Levi Ephes. No. I'm going to explain to you. There's really no problem here. Watch this. Kaidem hayu goyim. When they came into the tent to eat, they were just plain goyim. They were goyim. They had nothing to do. They had nothing to do with Yiddishkeit. They had nothing to do with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. They were goyim. And how can you possibly understand that a goy would be mekabel al malchus shemayim? Hashem Elokeinu melech ha'olam? A goy is going to be able to say Elokeinu melech ha'olam? A goy can say that?
No.
But now that the fact that they actually ate something, also mitzvah, they did a mitzvah. Wow, wouldn't the goyim love to hear this?
Oh, yeah.
They eat, they sit down to eat, they go to the restaurant, they eat a big steak, and they have a beer, and they made a mitzvah. They made a mitzvah.
That's the mitzvah.
They did a mitzvah.
By eating the steak and the bear.
They had a mitzvah. What was the mitzvah in this case? Shezichu es Avram b'mitzvahs achnosas orchim. That they gave Avram Avinu the opportunity in order to fulfill the mitzvah of achnosas orchim. Wow. Wow, in other words, they sat there and they enjoyed the fact that Avraham Avinu, don't forget, Avraham Avinu was a very wealthy man. He was a very prominent, wealthy man. But he himself would serve. Fascinating. You know, we're learning the Kedushas Levi, so it's nice to say of a little Maisa with Kedushas Levi. You know, when the Kedushas Levi got married, he lived in the house of his father-in-law. His father was a very, very wealthy man. Very, very wealthy man. He had servants in the house. And whenever the Kedushas Levi would hear that they would have guests for Shabbos, he would go and prepare the room where the guests would be staying.
Oh, he himself.
And his father-in-law asked him, Levi Yitzchak, you know, we have maids and butlers.
Yeah, why
are you involving yourself? Well, why don't you go learn and do something? Why are you making the room up?
Yeah.
He says, there's a mitzvah, achnasa sarchim, you think I'm going to give this over to a maid to do? I need to do this myself. So Avraham Avinu himself is standing here. You know, don't forget, he was a very wealthy man. He was very busy. He was busy.
Yeah.
But he took his time in order to serve the people.
Yeah.
He took his time to serve the people. It's amazing. I'll tell you another thing. There was the Rebbe Rav Shayla Mekerestira. You ever heard of the Rebbe Rav Shayla Mekerestira?
No.
Anyone heard of him? You heard of him? No? There was a great tzaddik of Shayla. So he was very, very big on feeding Jews. He loved to feed Jews.
Yeah.
He loved to help Jews with food. So one time he had a lot of people with him, and he washes, and he makes hamaitzi, and he takes the challah and he breaks the challah open, and he pulls some of the soft, fluffy stuff of the challah out in the middle, and he hands it to a man. He hands it to somebody. And the people are like, wow, what is this? He usually when you make the hamaitzi, you take a piece yourself, and then you give it out to the people.
Yeah.
No, he grabs a piece and he gives it to him, and then he eats from the challah. So they said to him, Rebbe, why'd you do that? He says, this man here, he's very, very hungry. He's very, very hungry.
Yeah.
But if you notice, he doesn't have any teeth.
Oh.
He doesn't have teeth, so I can't give him the crust. He won't be able to chew it.
Yeah.
So I took the soft part of the challah, the soft part of the bread, and I gave him that, so he'll be able to digest it, he'll be able to chew it. Amazing. Then just to understand an appreciation that the tzaddikim have when they do mitzvahs.
Yeah.
It's fascinating. So Avraham Avinu is standing there, serving these people himself. Yeah.
It said when the Malachim came.
Yes.
It said Ela Boka Rotz Avram.
What's Avram? That was what he did.
Yeah.
He ran. Avraham Avinu was running.
Rotz.
He was running. Avraham Avinu was running to do mitzvahs.
So these people got the mitzvah because they gave the mitzvah to Avraham.
They allowed Avraham. Right, they allowed Avraham Avinu the opportunity to do mitzvahs achnasas archim.
And therefore they got a mitzvah themselves.
They got a mitzvah because if they weren't there and they didn't allow Avraham Avinu to do it, then he couldn't do the mitzvah. Makes sense? You like that? It's good. Now listen to this. Now look. Im kain zeh schus kairim lahem sheyu yecholim lekayim lekabel al malchus shemayim. So that schus that they just acquired, the fact that they allowed Avraham Avinu to do the mitzvah of achnasas archim, they were the vehicle to allow Avraham Avinu to do that mitzvah because they had that schus. Now they could be mekabel al malchus shemayim. V'lakach amrina in the medrash. Therefore, it says further in the medrash, "Mi shaloi ratza levarech achar achila." Whoever that was eating Avraham Avinu's establishment, and he says, "I don't want to give a bracha to it. I don't want to bless Hashem. I'm not going to bench." Amar sheyishalim loy. Oh, sir, you have to pay me. Oh, write him a check. Right away, give him a check. Give him the check, and make sure he leaves a tip too. Huh? He didn't care how he paid.
Bounce.
Pay. You have to pay for it. Why? Why do you do that? Because our Rebbe said like this: if you understand that the food that I just gave you, that even though it seems like it's mine, that I took the cow from my corral, I took the food from my pantry, and I gave it to you. So if you understand that I believe that it's not really my food, it's not really my cow, it's not my animals, it's not my tent, it's not my table, it's not my water that I gave you, it's all Hashem's. So if it's all Hashem's, so then make a bracha and bless Hashem. But if you don't want to bless Hashem, which means you're saying it's not Hashem's, and you're saying it's rightfully mine, you mean so it's my animal? You mean you ate my steak, you drank my water? Also pay for it.
Yeah.
Ah, clever.
Yeah.
How clever Avraham Avinu was.
Yeah.
How clever he was, Baruch Hashem.
So
Kivan,
pay
look,
me.
he goes on to say, Kivan the loy nichnas by Ruach Kedusha, because the Ruach HaKedusha, they did not allow it into themselves, this Ruach HaKedusha that they could have accomplished, that they could have acquired, they didn't allow it to enter into themselves. Shma mina delay kivan l'schus oisei b'mitzvos achnasas harchem. They were not interested in all. The fact that they were just eating for the sake of eating, they couldn't care less that Avraham Avinu was serving them or not and helping out Avraham Avinu.
Yeah.
They just wanted to eat themselves. They had nothing to do with it. Lama lo yishalim. So therefore, why should you not pay? So therefore, why should you not pay?
Yeah.
Such a beautiful Kedushas Levi to understand the way the Rebbe would say things and do things. It's an amazing understanding. Now, I would like to turn the page, please. And I prepared a Nesiva Shalom. If we turn the page, and we'll speak a little bit about the Akedah. And we're going to ask some amazing questions in the Mitzvah Hashem, get some good answers, and we'll see how it all pertains to our lives today. Are we ready? Baruch Hashem. Okay. Parshas Akedas Yitzchak, Ribui Hadiyukim. Wow, there are so many different points that we have to analyze. We have to make an analogy of the different points of Akedas Yitzchak, really what was going on. Now, Rashis. Now, lo yasara nisyonos nisna Avram Avinu. Wasn't Avram Avinu tested with 10 tests? Wasn't Avram Avinu actually tested with 10 tests?
Already.
V'lama rak b'nisayin zen nema loshen v'elikim nisa es Avram. So then why is it only at this test? Does the Torah it make the statement, v'elikim nisa es Avram? Hashem tested Avram. He goes on to say, Shalei Niska came b'shar nisyanis. All the other tests, the Torah doesn't make any reference that it's a test. Why over here is it mentioned, the Torah mentioning that Avraham Avinu is being tested? He had 10 tests. Why specifically on this test is it saying that this is a test? You see, Dr. Smith? Why this is a test? Why does it say Elikim? Elikim we know is the shame of din and yira. Ve'ilu b'nisayin shalech lecha niskar shem havaya. But when it came to parshas Lech Lecha, right, last week, Hashem said Lech Lecha me'yatzecha me'vadecha me'savicha, right? He said to him with the shem vayomer Hashem el Avram. It was Yud Kei Vav Kei. It wasn't Elikim. Right? Vayomer Hashem el Avram. Shu shem ha'chesed v'ahava. That's the name of Chesed and Ahava. Right? We all studied that many times. Kain tzar b'yamadua ksiv elikim nisas Avram. Harein is saying gam hayagam liyitzchak. Wait a minute. The Torah is saying that this was a test for Avram Avinu. Wait, wasn't Yitzchak the one that was going to be offered as the carbon? Wasn't that also a test for Yitzchak? Good question, Dr. Smite. In other words, why is the Torah saying it's a test for Avraham Avinu? Wasn't it also a test for Yitzchak Avinu? Kedama Chazal Shemevi Rashi Achar Advar Meila. When it says Achar Advar Meila, what happened? Yesh Rabbeinu Oimrim Achar Advarim Shel Yishmael. Yitzchak Avinu had a little conversation with Yishmael. What was going on? Shoya mispayer al Yitzchak Shmuel ben Yud Gimel Shana v'lay Micha. Yishmael would boast to Yitzchak Avinu, hey, you think you're so great? I had my bris milah when I was 13 years old, and I didn't stop. I didn't prevent it. I allowed myself to have a bris milah when I was 13 years old. But you had your bris milah when you were 8 days old. You had no choice. Your father, Avraham Avinu gave you the bris milah, and you got the bris milah. But me, I'm special, says Yishmael. I'm special. So what happens? Amar la Yitzchak. Yitzchak says, oh yeah? Be'ever echad at mirani. Yeah, okay, so you may be more special than me. You have a little more yira with one aver. But look what he says. Ilu amali HaKadosh Baruch Hu. But HaKadosh Baruch Hu would say to me, Zevach atzmecha lefanai lo hayisi ma'akev. If Hashem would tell me to offer myself as a carbon in front of Him, I would not stop that. How careful we must be with our words. They say you have to be careful what you wish for, you may just get it.
Oh, yeah.
Be careful what you wish for. Yitzchak Avinu said to Yishmael, he answered him back, if HaKadosh Baruch Hu would say to offer myself as a carbon, I would do it. Right away, Hashem says to Avraham Avinu, bring Yitzchak as a carbon. You hear this? Yishmael is chappering, he's bothering Yitzchak. And he's saying, I had Brit Milah when I was 13 years old. You had Brit Milah when you were 8 days old. I'm better than you. Says Yitzchak to Yishmael. Oh yeah? If Hashem would say to me that I should become a carbon to Hashem, I would do it. Wow. Right away, Hashem says to Avraham Avinu, go take him as a carbon. You understand? This was also a test for Yitzchak Avinu. So why does the Torah only mention V'alekim nisas Avram v'layalikim nisas Avram v'Yitzchak? Why didn't it say Avram and Yitzchak? Why is it only Avram is being tested and not Yitzchak is being tested? Does everyone understand the question? Mm-hmm. Yeah? Okay, good. Hey, this is your question, Dr. Sumai. Why do we need this test altogether? Why do we need this test? The Rebbe is asking. Why did it say Avram Avinu when it came to Ur Kasdan, with Nimrod over there that time with the king, and told him that I'm going to put you in the fire if you don't admit to the idols. Avram says, I don't care. You throw me into the fire. Wasn't that a big test? He allowed himself to get thrown into a fire. Wow. He was masin nefesh kulay, his entire being to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So then why does he need this and this sign of the Akedah? This was your question, Dr. Smai. Nimsa, so we find, Ki Nisayan Zeh, who Yosef Godom Nisayan or Kazan. This test is actually a greater test than even the test of Ur Kasdan. This test of the Akedah is a bigger problem and a bigger accomplishment if he passes this test than even the fact that he allowed himself to be thrown into the fire in Ur Kasdan. It's amazing, right? The Torah says, now I know that you're a Yari Elikim. We know the midah of Avraham Avinu is the midah of Chesed and Ahava. So if the midah of Avraham Avinu is the Chesed and Ahava, why? Wouldn't it have been more proper for the Torah to say, Oyev Elikim Ata? You say that HaKadosh Baruch Hu, he loves Hashem. Why does it say Yoreh? Yoreh is fear. Yoreh is part of what Yitzchak is, not Avraham Avinu. Avraham is Chesed, Ahava. Why it says in the pasuk in the Torah 3 times Vayelchu Yachtav, that they went together, they went on together. Mitchila, when they first left to the Akedah. Oh, and those precious words. And Yitzchak Avinu, he asks Avraham Avinu, they stop, and he asks him, so where is the seh for this oila? Vayomer Avram, and Avram says, Elokim Yori lo yaseh loila b'ni. HaKadosh Baruch Hu told me that you, my dear son, you are the carbon. And what does it say? Vayelchu shneyam yachtav. They went on together, and they went continued to the Akedah. V'lachar Akedah ksiv, Pam Gimel. And after the Akedah, it says the third time, Vayeshev Avram El Nahora Vayakumu Vayelchu Yachdav. And after the Akedah, after they found that ram that was stuck in the bush, and they offered the ram, and Avraham Avinu and Yitzchak Avinu walked together back to the donkey where they left it. It says Vayelchu Yachdav. Again, Vayelchu. Why does it say Vayelchu Yachdav 3 times? One when they first left, the second time when Yitzchak Avinu stopped and asked the question, where is the Seh? And the third time after the Akedah that they were walking back. Now, now we'll start answering these questions. Okay, we have a nice, beautiful question, so let's try to understand these questions. V'yesh levar inyan. Excuse me. The Hine Kvar Amru Chazal in Avos in the Mishnah Hay. Asar in Nisyonis Nisna Avraham Avinu. Avraham Avinu was tested with 10 tests. V'amad b'kulam, and he passed all the tests. Wow. Avraham Avinu he scored. He aced all the tests. He had 10 tests, and he got 100. Lo idea kama chibasai shel Avraham Avinu lifnei hamakim. That was demonstrating the great love that Avraham Avinu had for HaKadosh Baruch Hu. The fact that he passed these tests, it's showing that he loved HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Why? V'chein v'ksiv al zeh b'sefer Emunah b'tachin miyuchas LaRamban. The Holy Ramban writes in his sefer and Emunah b'tachin, V'al techoshev l'malosei shel Avraham Avinu haisa gedoyla kol kach lifnei hamakim mitzad shekayim kol ha'torah. Let us not think, the Ramban says, he was a Rishon, right? The Ramban says, let us not think that the greatness of Avraham Avinu was that he kept the whole Torah. Wow, what a statement. Avraham Avinu kept the whole Torah. Avraham Avinu kept the whole Torah. I saw a beautiful thing from the Bnei Yissaschar. I want to share with you now. The Bnei Yissaschar brings down that Avraham Avinu was in a quandary. He wasn't sure. Is he considered a Jew, or is he considered a Bnei Noach?
Yeah.
He wasn't sure.
Yeah.
But we know Avraham Avinu kept the whole Torah.
Yeah.
Now Shabbos is part of the Torah.
Yes.
Right. So what happens if a guy is Shabbos b'Shabbos?
Oh,
He's Chayav Misa.
Right.
And what happens if a Jew doesn't keep the Shabbos? He's Chayav Misa.
Yeah,
So Avraham says, wait a second, I'm in trouble. What do I do? If I'm a guy and I keep the Shabbos, then I'm Chayav Misa. If I'm a Jew and I keep the Shabbos and I don't keep the Shabbos, I'm Chayav Misa. Yeah. So what do I do? Avraham Avinu came up with a brainstorm. He said, I'm going to wear tzitzis.
Oh.
Tzitzis.
Yeah.
Why tzitzis? Says the Bnei Yissaschar is going to wear tzitzis. You know why? By putting on a pair of tzitzis, we know that the tzitzis are tuffle to the beged. The tzitzis are tuffle to the beged. The beged is the ikar. The tzitzis are tuffle, become part and parcel to the beged.
Yeah.
And when you wear your tzitzis on Shabbos, even if there's no Erev, you can wear your tzitzis and go outside. There's no problem.
Yeah, yeah.
If there's no Erev, you can put your talis on and walk outside, no problem.
Yeah.
But you can't. But if the tzitzis are not attached to the beged, you can't carry it.
Of course not.
Right. Or the tzitzis were not attached and the beged was there, you couldn't carry the strings.
No, of course not.
Okay. When Avraham Avinu goes outside on Shabbos in the Reshus HaRabim from Reshus HaYachid, which is Haitzah.
Right, yeah.
He goes outside.
Yeah.
And if he's a Jew and he's wearing his tzitzis, then it's a beged. It's no problem.
Right.
He didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah.
But if he's a guy and he goes outside and he's wearing those tzitzis, then the tzitzis are not tuffle to the beged. And because the tzitzis are not tuffle to the beged, it's like he's carrying the tzitzis.
But a guy doesn't have to get... so he's...
That's exactly the point.
So he's Machal Shabbos.
So now he's Machal Shabbos, and then he wasn't Shabbos b'Shabbos. So Avraham Avinu came up with this brainstorm. It was amazing how clever Avraham Avinu was. He came up with a brainstorm. If I'm a guy then I'll wear the tzitzis, and the tzitzis are not considered tzitzis, and I'm carrying the strings.
Yeah.
If I'm a Jew, then there's strings attached to the beged, and I'm wearing the tzitzis, and it wasn't Machal Shabbos.
Yeah.
Amazing. No, so says the Ramban, the godless, what?
That's why they tell a ger now before he finishes his geras.
To wear
It's in practice.
the tzitzis on Shabbos, exactly. To practice. It's the same.
Keep everything else, but wear the tzitzis.
Wear the tzitzis and go outside. Rishus Rav.
Yeah.
It's brilliant. Mom is brilliant, and you see we do it still today. The same. Okay, beautiful. Okay, anyway, now, so says the Ramban that the greatness of Avram Avinu wasn't necessarily to keep the whole Torah. That wasn't his greatness. That was not his greatness. What does that mean? I'll tell you. So there was a story in Brooklyn. There's a yeshiva, right? It's a story that just recently happened, and there's a rebbe that has that gives a shir, and he finishes the shir at 2:00.
Mm-hmm.
And you know the way it is. You know the way it is in the yeshiva. Sometimes they have milk, but they don't have coffee, and they have hot water in cups.
Yeah.
Sometimes they have coffee, hot water, milk, but no cups.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, that's the way it normally is. That's the way it normally is. So it was like that in this yeshiva too. So the Rebbe says he likes to have a coffee after he gives his shir at 2:00. He likes milk in his coffee.
Yeah.
So he brings a little bottle of milk and he puts it in the refrigerator.
Yeah.
He gives his shir and he goes to the coffee spot there and he opens the refrigerator. The bottle's empty. All right, he figures, okay, they didn't know. They thought it was a bottle. Okay. So he writes a note on it the next morning. He brings another bottle in the next day, and he writes, Bakbuk Zeh Prat Le Rebbe so and so.
Yeah.
Okay, this bottle is specific to me. He writes
it's
down.
mine.
Okay,
It
okay,
belongs
all
to
right.
me.
All right, he goes to class at Machayev. He comes back to get his coffee. He comes back, the bottle's empty. What? He doesn't understand. I'll try it again. Now this time he writes up a note. He takes a piece of paper. He writes a note and he writes, "This is prat me. This is mine, and this is gazela. If you take this, you're stealing. It says in the Torah you're not allowed to steal, and don't steal, and don't take my milk."
Yeah.
And he puts that on the bottle. And he comes back at 2:00. It's empty.
Yeah.
He's beside himself.
Yeah.
He's beside himself. What do I do? What do I do?
Get a bigger bottle.
Someone tells him. Call Stam. Write down that this is. Oh, you heard this story? You heard this? It's write down this is Chol of Stam.
Yeah, it's
Right?
not Chol of Yisrael.
It's Chol of Stam. So he writes a note on it that it's Chol of Stam. The milk is there at 2:00. See, he's perplexed by it. What is this? Chol of Akim, Chol of Stam is a chumrah.
Yeah.
It's a chumrah.
But not to steal.
But
is
Zayl is
Torah.
minimum diyaraisa.
Yeah.
Well, what does he do? They think they could steal, but they won't eat chalav. So this is what we're learning over here. And the fact that Avram Avinu kept the whole Torah doesn't demonstrate who he really is. Doesn't demonstrate who he really is because you're doing things. You know, as we do things, right? We go in the morning to shul because if we don't go to shul, so people listen. Where were you?
Yeah.
Right? And we go to eat the kosher food. We go to the store. We buy different things because this is what we do.
Yeah.
Right? I live in the area. It's convenient to go to that store.
Yeah.
Right? I do different things that are very convenient.
Right.
But who knows if you find yourself somewhere in the Midwest and there's nothing there to eat exactly like you want, and it's very hard to get to a shul. What would the person do then? When no one knows. That's the test. That's the test. So in other words, the fact that he's keeping the Torah and he's just doing what he has to do, it's good. That's wonderful. But think about it. This is we're talking about Avram Avinu.
Yeah.
The Torah wasn't even there yet. He didn't even have the Torah, but he perceived all the things in the Torah.
Yeah,
but the Ramban says that was not his greatness.
Yeah, what?
That's
Mark.
fascinating. That's a fascinating statement of the Holy Ramban. Okay, but look, let's.
Rabbi Yaakov Kamenetsky was,
Yeah.
He had to go to work on Purim. So he says, can I lie to my boss I'm not feeling too well so I can leave early so I come home on time for the Yisudas Purim? He says, Chas v'shalom. Yisudas Purim is the Rabbanim, but to lie and
Mit
to
B'Sheket
advise
Yecha.
someone to leave early from the work. The Raisa. You can't do it.
The Rabbanan doesn't trumpet the Raisa. Trump, get it? Okay, yeah. Inside Shekayim Kol HaTorah. Okay, now. Sharei Efshar Shelo Haya BiYisrael Mi Shekayim Kol HaTorah Shekvar Hayu Bahen Shemesu Be'itav Shel Nachash Aval Chivosai Haisa Lifnei HaMakim Lefi She'omad Ba'asar Nisyonis. So it says the Ramban that the fact that he kept the whole Torah didn't show the fact that he's beloved to Hashem. It was only because he passed the tests, showed his chiba that he had, his chiba yeseva that he had to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Al Kain, therefore, these 10 tests, they are revealing and they are demonstrating how beloved Avraham Avinu was to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Aval kol madregosav uma shekiyam es kol haTorah kulai adayin ein bahem leidia gadol chivasei levei hamakim. All the other mitzvahs that he didn't demonstrate his chiba, his belovedness that he had to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that he had to HaKadosh. It didn't demonstrate it. To understand how great these tests are. Shekiyam kol haTorah. Shekayim kol haTorah einay mevias adon lamala shel amida b'nisyonos. You see, even if you keep the whole Torah, it doesn't necessarily mean that when it comes to the test, the person will pass the test.
Yeah.
And this pertains really to us, each one of us. Anytime that we have the opportunity to do something that no one knows if we're doing it or not, but we choose to do it, that's a test.
Right.
And I do the right thing.
But if you don't pass the test, are we violating the Torah though? If we don't pass the test,
Yes.
are we being over a deraisa?
Oh, yeah, perhaps, yes.
And then, so how can you say?
No. In other words, it's a test. So we're saying the difference is like this. So when you're a person has a drink, right? So when you're amongst other Jews, you make sure you make your shahakal.
Right. Okay.
So the question is, what does the person do when he's not around everyone else and he's really thirsty? Does he just take the drink and then he thinks about the bracha after? What does he do? That's a test. I'm really, really thirsty now. What do I do?
Yeah, man.
That's a test. Well, what's the question?
No, I mean, I know, but the question is, I mean, the question is, what is he's a greater person because he passes the test? You demonstrate who you really are when you take a test and you pass the test. How does it work anytime? Well, okay, Archie, let me ask you a question. By passing the test, you absorb the halacha.
No, you're good. That's right. Okay, 1 second.
So isn't that?
Wait a minute. Wait.
Wait.
Why in school do they give tests? Let's say a student comes to class every day, and every day he's there and he hands in his homework and he does what he's supposed to do. But they give him still a test. Why did they give him the test? To see what he really knows. To see what he knows. So that HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives us these tests, puts us in these situations to see who we really are. We're going to see in a minute. Let's stay.
If we don't pass the test, then we're violating the halacha.
Can you hold that thought for a minute? You'll understand in a minute. Please hold that thought for a minute. The holy Baal Shem Tov at the time a person is being tested, okay, let's see now. Look. At the time a person is being tested, it takes away all his levels and all his fortification that he fortified himself with. It takes it away. The way I understand it is like this. You go to you're in the class, and they tell the teacher says you're about to go to the class to the test, and you're about to use your book, and you can bring your computer with you, and we'll give you a Wi-Fi connection. So you can look up the things on Google, anything you need to know, no problem. So then you don't worry about that test at all, right? You don't worry about it. You go into a math test, you put the problem, and Google will give you the answer. Anything you did, there's no problem, right? You'll get every answer you need. There's no problem. Okay, but now wait a second. But now what happens is by the day of the test, now you show up to the test. There's a proctor standing outside. He says, "Okay, let me have the book, your computer. Let me see that, and you need to leave your phone over here, and now go take the test."
Now go take the test. Well, wait. Hold on a second. You told me I can use my test, my book. You told me I can use my computer. You told me I can use my phone. You told me I can do all of these things. Why are you taking it away from me?
Yeah.
Oh, says the Baal Shem Tov, because that's what Hashem does to us.
Yeah.
Because we think we have all of the things are prepared for us, everything we work on. But when we're being tested, Hashem takes away all of those things. He wants to see what's part of us, and we're going to understand in a minute. Let's understand the lesson. Here we go. And the person's left now, so to say, with a small mind. He doesn't have that clarity. He has a bilbul in his mind. He has confusion. Because when a person has his faculties in order, when his mind is in order, look, if a person has everything, he knows that Hashem is with him, and he knows that he's being tested, and he knows that there's this schar and einish, and he understands all of these things, and he knows all these things in his mind. He understands it. He got it. So then, where's the test? Why is that a test?
Yeah.
In other words, if you really understand Hashem, that Hashem is with you right this moment, and Hashem is watching me drink this glass of water now. So then, if you understand that, so then you'll make that bracha because Hashem is standing there. Is that true?
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Is that true? Right? Look, we're all sitting here now. If they told us that Rav Chaim Kanievsky came, he's going to walk into the shir right now.
Yeah.
So we're going to go. We'll sit up straight. Everyone to be very careful, right? It's not going to be the same thing.
Yeah.
Right? Of a person sitting in his living room at home, and they tell him, "Oh, Mr. Trump is here to visit you." Whoa.
Yeah.
Hey, but wait a second. Hold on. Isn't Hashem with you all the time? He's the Melech Malchei Amlokim. So why are you so impressed that Mr. Trump or the Gadol Hadar came to see you? HaKadosh Baruch Hu was with you all the time.
Right.
And so when we understand that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is with us, and
that'd be a good question. So how can we say HaKadosh Baruch Hu is not with us now?
He is. He is
with us.
No, but now when we're sitting here, we all know that. But the question is, when you're by yourself and there's no one there, so now the Yetzer Hara cheppers you, bothers you, and tries to tell you, Hashem's not here. Nah, you can do what you want to do. No, that's what he does. But so now look, let's go back. V'ikar Nisayan, who im omad bazeh, if he passes this, gam be'eis cheshkas v'katnas hamaychin. The question is, can he pass the test when he has the cheshkas hamaychin, when his mind is when it's dark to him, when he doesn't have that clarity, when there's a bilbul, when there's confusion in his mind? Zeh meivchin al mandregosai hamitis b'avodas Hashem. That teaches where he's standing in his avodas Hashem. The real true test that a Jew has to accomplish in his avodas Hashem, he shezu tehei etzloi bebechinas tivis v'techunas nefesh. That we're really supposed to come to a level that it's part of our nature. It's part of our inherent nature of things that we do. For example, if a fly lands on your nose, you're just going to go like this, right? You don't have to think about it. Do you think about that? No, you just do it. The flies, I make like that, right? Or if it's cold, you go put on your jacket. You don't think about it. Oh, it's cold. I need to go get a jacket. No, you just go do it, right? This is what we do. This is nature. It's part of what we do. It's not whether I understand it, amasik, why is it cold, why is the fly here, why is this, why is it? No, I just do it. A person eats, but you don't really think about it. You eat your cookies, right? You had some nice cookies, right? You drink your tea. No, you don't have to think about it. You just eat it, you enjoy it. You enjoyed it, right? It's good, Baruch Hashem. You don't need to pay any attention to what you're doing. You just do it. You just eat, no problem. That's the teva. That's nature.
Reflex. It is reflex.
A reflex. Oh, beautiful. Kach tzricha avodas Hashem liyos tivosai. So too, a reflex has to be avodas Hashem. It's just natural to the person. V'avosai es Hashem v'yosai yu etzlai tivis. And his love and fear of HaKadosh Baruch Hu should be to him tivis. It should be natural for him. He should be comfortable with it. He should be comfortable with it. Tivis bein b'yosei b'moichin de gadlus ubein kasher shori b'moichin de katnus. Whether he finds himself with a clear understanding of behirut, he's clear, he understands everything, or whether he's standing in the time of katnus hamot and he's been balbel. Okay, it doesn't matter to him. Either way, he feels HaKadosh Baruch Hu's love. He feels the fear of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So it doesn't matter what his mind is thinking.
He always feels that.
Oh, he feels it.
Always,
it becomes part of him. It becomes part of who he is.
So what's the test?
So what's the test? Then it's not a test.
Train yourself.
Excellent! Wow.
It's not a test.
But then it's not a test. But you have to work on to get to that level. That's a high level. That's a very high level. This, but we're learning what we're supposed to aspire to, and the levels we're supposed to aspire to. Yeah. We're going to say tomorrow.
10.
Wait. Listen. We say, look. Where do you know this from? Everyone says nishmas, right? On Shabbos, right? When you daven Ashkenaz, a Sfardit, it doesn't matter. Everyone says nishmas, right? Right? Everyone's minded to that, no problem, right? Nishmas. So what do we say in the words in nishmas? Kol atzmaisai. Taimarna Hashem micha meicha. Kol atzmaisai. What does it mean, kol atzmaisai? What does it mean, kol atzmaisai? All my bones. The bones. All my bones will scream out, micha meicha. Who's like you, Hashem? We all say that. Da atzmus she'einam ha'chelik ha'megushim b'yoseh b'guf. That these things, these bones are from the chelik megushim in the person. Even the limbs will be able to scream amidst Hashem, who is like you, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Especially when you have arthritis.
Oh.
You hear them talking. And you're thankful that they're moving and talking.
They're moving and talking. K'may sheyesh lehepech bechinas avanei seichem chakukim al atzmai seichem rachman litzlan. So we know this. You know. There's always the other side, right? So we're saying that the bones will be able to scream Hashem micha meicha.
Yeah.
But chas v'shalom, if a Jew is involved in averis, so then we know Chazal tell us that the averis are chakukim. They're engraved on the bone.
Yeah, so then that'll say.
Chas v'shalom, we should all be spared from that. She'tivi yosai he chet v'avim, because his teva is to do sins. His teva is not to do the right thing. His teva is to do the wrong thing. Kach yesh kol atzmaisei temarna Hashem micha meicha. So too will it be that all the bones will scream Hashem micha meicha. She'ativiyah shaloi Hashem micha meicha. That it'll become part of nature of the person. You know, it says by Avram Avinu, it says by the Akedah, by Yishlach es yada, he sent out his hand. So the question's asked, what do you mean by Yishlach his yada? You don't have to send, what do you mean he sent out by Yishlach his yada? He sent out his hand. Why do you have to send out your hand?
With will. It's with will.
No. That's good. Okay. But I want to bring another point. Avram Avinu, his mind was being tested. His mind was being tested. But he was mekadesh all the bones of his body, and all the bones of his body were always screaming out Hashem micha meicha. They understood the Ratzon Hashem. Now, even though he was being tested and he did not know that really Hashem was just testing him, and really Hashem doesn't want him to slaughter his son, that was just a test to see what he would do. But really Hashem would never have allowed him to do that. He wasn't allowed to do that. Don't touch that child. Don't touch that child. Right? So his arm felt, I'm not going. Yeah. Normally you want to do something, your arm just does it. No, he had to take his arm with his other arm and send his arm out. His arm said, I'm not going.
Yeah.
I don't want to go.
Yeah.
Because the arm understood that Hashem really doesn't want this.
Yeah.
Koyi Azaracha. He said that your children are going to be like Yitzchak Avinu. Comes from Yitzchak. How can that be? His hand understood it because it was Hashem Michamaycha. His atzmas, his bones understood Hashem Michamaycha. And this is the Indian of the Nisyonis when we have a small mind. Shei Megalim. They reveal to the person if he has this ability. I'm sorry, the words got cut off on the photostat. But if he has the ability that he engraved inside himself, and it became part of the tivius of the person to serve Hakadosh Baruch Hu, that it became second nature. He didn't have to think about it. He doesn't have to think about it. He just does it. The same way you have to eat and drink and use the facilities, whatever it is, you just do it. You don't think about it. You just go and do it. So too, in the morning, you get up in the morning, you find that Nekuda Tova. In the morning you get up, you say, Maida ani lifanecha, Maida ani lifanecha, Melech chai v'kayim. You mekabel ol malchus shemayim. You mekabel the ol malchus shemayim in the morning, and you connect yourself to the goodness of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. You connect yourself to that Nekuda Tova that protects us for the entire day. And by doing that, all of our bones, Mitzvah Hashem, will become part of Tivius, of the Ratzon Hashem, which will take us, like we learned, away from the Shmad, which is the other side. And Moshe Rabbeinu is standing by Shmad l'Ratzon, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu will protect us. And Mitzvah Hashem, we should have a Zisa Lech Shabbos.
Amen.
Yeah.